going on, ladies and gentlemen? Another episode of the All Pro JAFFOs coming to you live on a Friday on YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook, and on Twitter. I'm your host, JP.
Hey, yo.
And with me, as always, the 6'10 Beast from the Southeast, Mr. Country K.
Konnichiwa, my people.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
And we bring you the highly elevated sports talk from the highly elevated sports fan. We got Cory Hammond joining us in a little bit. First things first. So everybody knows that we've been covering San Jose State for quite some time. And being kind of getting the information from Sky and being able to see and cover and do what we do with them. It was with very difficult circumstances and news that we got earlier this morning. Freshman running back Camdan McWright for San Jose State passed away in an accident this morning, and the game that was supposed to be played against New Mexico State this Saturday has been postponed to a later date this season. But they're having a vigil or a vigil with at the accident site. Yeah, I mean this was we saw him at training camp. He obviously brought a lot of attention from us because he was a bigger running back. He's kind of he's taller than most running backs that I've seen, and at least getting from what Coach Zoe has said, it's just they had a whole group of guys that were just hungry that wanted to ball out, and this news I know was definitely hard for Coach Zoe. I know it was hard for Brennan. I know it was for the entire San Jose State squad, and most of all for Camden's parents and for the rest of his family having to deal with this news Friday morning. It's absolutely saddening, to see young people or things happen to young people who have a lot of potential, who have a lot of talent, who have a lot of potential to be productive human beings in society, and things happen that cut those things short, and it's absolutely unfortunate. And having to live with this for the rest of the year, everybody on that team and with the family and stuff like that, it's just it's difficult. But our condolences go out to the family, and Camden Wright or McWright, rest in peace, man. Not much else I can say about it. Kay, if you have anything to say about it. Muted.
Yeah, I thought you said we was doing a silence, paying our respects.
Oh, I was gonna ask for you first, and then we were gonna.
I mean,
I don't have the 10 bell thing on my the
yeah,
soundboard here, but
I mean, silence is fine. I mean, I really don't have nothing to say about bro, to be honest with you.
Anybody else would be joining us live or listening or watching later on, please join us in a moment of silence for Camden. All right. So now getting into the show, a lot has happened in the last 24 hours. And just before I go to bed last night, my phone starts blowing up. Notifications, tweets, Instagram posts, Facebook, you name it. My phone was just absolutely going off. So much so that people in the JAFFO Fantasy League are begging me to trade them Christian McCaffrey. Why, you may ask? Well, Christian McCaffrey is now a San Francisco 49. How did it happen? Well, the San Francisco 49ers said, you know what, fuck it. We don't need to draft anybody next year. We'll give him a second, a third, and a fourth of next year. And hey, just to top off with a little bit of a cherry, we'll give you a fifth rounder for 2014 or 2024. Now, I, much like a lot of other 49ers fans, was wondering how the fuck was this possible? Where did we have the draft picks in order to do this type of deal? Well, they forget I forgot until I looked it up. The compensation picks that the 49ers were rewarded when Robert Saleh got hired with the Jets and Mike McDaniels got hired with the Miami Dolphins. That they got compensatory picks, thus giving them enough leverage to be able to trade with Carolina, who right now is obviously going through a fire sale. A few days ago, they gave Robbie Anderson to the Cardinals. Now they give McCaffrey to the 49ers. And it's only a matter of time before you see DJ Moore probably out of there soon. This team is in an absolute rebuild situation. And it's not surprising, but what was surprising was the fact that the 49ers picked him up. Now, Kay, being the most humble human being on the planet, like he always is, immediately sent the video. I don't give a fuck. Fuck the 49ers. You're going to get hurt anyway. Now, some of you can look at that. Oh, okay. Why be like that, okay? Why be like that?
Oh, don't be like that. If I had a rock, I'll bust your head, bitch.
But then it clicked into my head. Now, I've been saying we could use a good running back. But then I was like, no, with the running back, even with the running backs that we have, it'll be fine. The run game is good enough all in itself for them to be effective. But San Francisco running backs don't tend to last very long. They may last a good 5 to 6 games, and then after that, injury. Don't know why it happens. Roll back the tape. It happens. Now, we just picked up a running back who now, when healthy, absolute superstar running back, but has a bit of an injury bug problem. And I posted it on Twitter yesterday. I said I was conflicted. I said the trading for Christian McCaffrey was either a godsend to put us in position for an actual run, or Shanahan's going to run him into the ground for an injury in 2 weeks. Now, Kay, when you first got the news that Christian McCaffrey was now San Francisco 49er, what were your initial thoughts?
Exactly what you said. Because, all right, let me say it like this. I got to preface a lot just because we might have some new fans, you know. we might have some people like, check these guys out. They play close to the edge. But they're right most of the time. So here's my stance with your San Francisco 49ers.
You always do that shit. Why? We get it. They play in Santa Clara.
Well, my team plays in Tampa, Florida. I'm just saying.
It's fine.
So
there's like four other teams that don't play in the city that they call
and
themselves.
all of them are perpetrators. Anyway, as I was saying,
they're robbing the good people of that city.
They are robbing. I'm high right now, so let me work this out.
Yeah, we can figure that one out.
They're highway robbing every single person that purchased paraphernalia from their programs. You like that word alliteration? High. I showed I was high a little bit, and then I hit you with some alliteration. Bah! That's how you bounce back.
Alliteration?
Yeah, because that shit might have been wrong. No one said press F5. No one said press F5. Anyway.
What?
Hey man, roll back the tape and hear what I said and see if it may or may not be right. And shout out to Snake Bass, my book brother on Twitter. Only reason why, because he said something very hilarious to me when he tweeted some shit. So I'm gonna say the tweet first. So he basically was like, he basically said some shit like, "Don't be surprised if the Bucks end up 6-11." I was like, hold on. Normally I'm riding with you on some of your shit, but you got to explain this one. He said 99% of the shit I post on Twitter.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, so
he said, was it 90 or like 80 or something? Either way,
he said 99% of the shit I say is motherfucking I should
satire.
Satire. And then 50% of that is fucking whatever. That shit was funny as hell. Anyway, so fucking my point.
Touche. I was so laughing.
Yeah, no, that shit was fucking hilarious, bro. I was fucking.
He said, all right, I get it.
The way they're constructed, they just got another weapon, but they still didn't really solve the problem of wide receiver. It's like right now, the 49ers, the way they got their team constructed is backyard football. Like you got a main good guy that's super fucking strong. That's like, he like, damn, like that motherfucker is like nice size. And you got a bunch of other motherfucking goddamn collective of misfits. You got one white kid that may or may not grew up in the hood, but his daddy for sure worked with a bunch of black dudes. So he goddamn got a little sauce. Now new to the team, but he get hurt all the goddamn time. And and then you got a head coach or the guy that's calling the plays that cares nothing about your welfare. So he'll put you in the most dangerous positions, but it might be beneficial. If you don't get hurt, it's beneficial. If you a tough little cookie, it's going to be beneficial because you might win some games, but it's like high probability you're going to get hurt. I mean, so high that it's like, I'm talking about that shit Kanye was talking about before he went crazy, like touching the sky shit. Like, yeah, I know. I know. I said before he went crazy.
Shit.
He deserves
there you
that.
Go. I wanted to give you a chance to use the button so you'll be ready for us to start talking about Baker.
Mm-hmm. Make you rest in shit.
Me too.
I know, because it's coming.
Light needs to get replaced. Holy fuck. You see that shit flickering on and off?
Yeah. I mean, it is October 21st, so you got 10 days, so just leave it. You got 10 days, leave it.
I feel like I should spoil the ending of Halloween for everybody. I'll save that for a later date. He fucking dies, people. There you go. I'm not gonna tell you how, but he does.
That it sucked.
I had my problems with it.
Anyway, so yeah, that's my situation. Like, I feel like Kyle Shanahan does not give a shit. First off, like I told you, it should definitely be a law that this motherfucker never has a goddamn mobile quarterback. It should definitely be a law that he never has a mobile quarterback as his starting quarterback or any type of quarterback or part of his team that he's coaching. Because every single time he gets a mobile quarterback, he hurts them in very short order. It's not even fucking funny. Like, you literally took out a guy that was the number 2 pick in the draft, and he was murdering the league. Took him out. It was like, oh, it was the field. FedEx Field was trash. All right, cool. Trey Lance, a brand new stadium. I'm talking about not even 20 years old. Hurt. Gone. What? How many games? 3 games? He was gone. Like, come on, bro. Like, this ain't. And then every player that you get that's good besides Debo, because he got some damn Wolverine gene, like Russell's talking about. Got some Wolverine gene that he's able to just weather the storm through Kyle's stuff, because Debo's a tough cookie. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he hurts everybody else. Like, think about it like this.
I'll get to you later,
thought about it. I'll say it like this. You remember when you were raving about Elijah Mitchell to me when he was a rookie? He was like, oh, my God, we got this rookie so good. And with our O-line, he's going to be so dynamic and all of this. You remember how you was raving about Elijah Mitchell? Bro, I swear to you, it had to be like 3 weeks, and then he got hurt. You were saying that he was going to be so good because he's a rookie.
This year was week 1.
No, I'm saying his rookie year.
Right, last year.
His rookie year. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
right.
You were raving about him like he's going to be so good in this offense and all of this. I could have sworn you'd been like 3 weeks later after that. I mean, but him specifically, 3 weeks, got hurt. Kyle's notorious. He's a menace, man. I'm telling you.
I don't know what it is. It's just the bad luck of the running backs in San Francisco. Hopefully, Christian McCaffrey turns it around. Maybe, hopefully he doesn't get hurt. We don't want anybody to get hurt. But
let me ask you one before you go into it. The last player that you had that y'all picked up because he went to Stanford, how did that work out for y'all?
Are you talking about the head coach or a player?
I mean player, not coach. I meant player. Last time y'all had a player because he went to Stanford, y'all picked him up because he went to Stanford. How'd that work out for you?
I'm trying to remember the last time that was.
Okay, let me go ahead and I'll drop the information to you. He wore number 25, defensive back named Richard Sherman.
Oh. We didn't draft him, though.
No, I said y'all picked him up because he went to Stanford. Basically, y'all used it, not because he went to Stanford, but that tie was like one of the biggest reasons why y'all end up getting
him. God damn. The first year that he came back, him and Kyle Williams. Not Kyle Williams. Was it Kyle Williams?
Man, bro, I'll be honest with you. Kyle Williams should not be mentioned after what Lamar did to him in that rain game. Lord have mercy.
I'm just saying throughout the season and stuff like that, they were the top duo.
I haven't seen them alive since then. I promise you. Lamar is still on the run for that murder.
Richard Sherman the first year was fine. It was after he had the Achilles injury that he really, slowed down. It was really tough for him to really get back to the way he was. So it was just kind of one of those. He was there just to not be a leader, but be a mentor at that point.
I mean, I'm gonna let you work it out, but I'm gonna just say it like this: at the exact same time, Buddy was getting hurt at Stanford, not as much as he was in the league with the Panthers. But I'm gonna tell you this:
Christian McCaffrey get hurt at Stanford?
I didn't mean Stanford. I didn't mean Stanford. I meant to say he's gonna get hurt at the Niners, probably not as much as he did at the Panthers. That's what I meant to say. I feel like that because I don't think Kyle Shanahan. I think he's gonna try to use all this man gifts at one fucking time. I promise you. Because I honestly
absolutely overuse the shit out of him.
Y'all got the Chiefs this week. Y'all finna just throw him in. I promise you, it's finna be backyard football, bro. I promise you. Y'all already playing backyard football the way y'all get about Debo. That shit is like, it's kind of disgusting. It's worse, but it's kind of disgusting, bro. I don't see why people be raving about that. I'm like, that's overuse of a player, man. That's not even crazy. Like, it's disgusting.
Yeah, that whole thing, what he did with Trey Lance, the design quarterback runs, like it's not good. It's not good.
If
The
Kyle Shanahan,
quarterback being able to run should be the last resort type of thing.
right,
That's a plus. If he
right,
has to run and get outside and everything else like that, he can do that, but it shouldn't necessarily be a design play.
right.
It's
So
just doesn't
I'll
make
say
sense.
if Kyle Shanahan had cap, that makes sense because he looked like he's built for that. Big guy, nice, you know what I'm saying? Like nice size quarterback. Trey is like he's big, but he's not like stocky. You know what I mean? He's not a nice size quarterback. He's kind of lean. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not like no Cam Newton big or just that kind of person to be able to take that type of punishment, no problem.
Yeah. Well,
But again, getting Christian McCaffrey, am I excited for what could potentially happen? Absolutely. And I have Christian McCaffrey on my fantasy team, so this is all great. But when you actually sit down and think about it, it's like, all right, I can't help but be pessimistic about the situation. That's the whole thing.
can I ask you this?
Go
If
ahead.
y'all don't win this year, the way y'all just basically sold next year, what happens at that point? What as far as the team, coaches, John Lynch, like what do y'all become next year? Is this like a 1-year project and then next year y'all gonna be taking off? Or like, is it an all-in factor like trying to win the ring this year?
The thing is, they're gonna restructure because right now, as we have McCaffrey, we still have him for another 3 years because of the contract extension that he signed with Carolina.
Carolina, yeah.
They're probably gonna restructure that a little bit, because their main priority this offseason is going to be signing Nick Bosa. So they need to be able to make sure they have enough cap room and stuff like that to be able to get that done. But I don't know, man. There's something about that. Like I was happy, but there was something about it that just had me conflicted. And it's just kind of like, well, like you said, with Kyle Shanahan's ability to run people into the fucking dirt, it obviously, I hope it doesn't happen that way. I hope the fact that we have a versatile, group of guys on the field that could be able to do things, we can even the ball out. But hasn't
I think Kyle
normally been the
Shanahan would
case.
be a good coach after he get fired from this job.
Like an OC or something, not a head coach.
Nah, I think he need to do like a sabbatical, like go with some monks and like go in a temple and do some yoga, some shit, start meditating every day, like do some shit like that for like 2-3 months, 60 to 90 days, you know what I mean? Take that time off, get your mind right, then you'll figure out the balance between using your talent and running them through the fucking mud. You know what I mean? I think that might be beneficial because him getting this job after fucking choking off a Super Bowl and then choked off another Super Bowl, bro. I feel like he need to take some time because like right now, and then you got Trey. Y'all just did this wild shit that you saved for Trey. You know what I'm saying? Then you did the whole Jimmy bullshit this year. And then y'all now just fucking traded everything for Christian McCaffrey this year. Like, if y'all don't win this year, I personally feel like he might get fired. And he need to take that 60 to 90 days with the months. bro.
After this year, no.
He choked off. Well, I mean, if it ain't this year, it definitely next year because he choked off the Super Bowl.
They're
and he
banking.
fucked
They're
off a
banking
couple
off.
years.
Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The fact that he even got him there in the first place, just the opportunity to actually be there, they're going to look at that.
That's disgusting.
They're not going to get rid of a coach that is consistently taking them to the playoffs and, you know, NFC Championship, Super Bowl contention. Why would they do that? That doesn't make any sense to do that.
Y'all done.
Now, if he was fucking off during the season, like we're not making the playoffs, then fine. But if we're making deep runs into the playoffs with him as the head coach, they're not fucking getting rid of him. That's just the fact. Whether you believe that they should or shouldn't, because he'll never win the big one. Well, at least they're getting the opportunity to get into the big one to try and prove you wrong. You know, but even me personally, if Kyle Shanahan continues to take this team or help take this team deep into the playoffs and Super Bowl opportunities, he's going to stay the head coach. It'd be stupid for them not to keep him. It would be stupid for them not to keep him.
That man.
When's the last time Mike Tomlin's done shit in the playoffs since the last Super Bowl that they've had? He hasn't done a goddamn thing. He's still there in Pittsburgh.
I mean, they got winning records every year, but at the
doesn't
same
matter.
time,
well, that's what I'm saying. If you have winning records,
that's why I say y'all the West
from
Coast
here on
Pittsburgh.
out. Well, I mean, it is what it is. You have winning records consistently, they're going to continue to keep you as the coach because you're continuing to have opportunities to get to. It's not so much about if you can win it or not. It's the opportunity to get there in the first place that a lot of these teams are. You think Detroit wouldn't be salivating at the fucking mouth to at least just get an opportunity to be in the NFC Championship game or the Super Bowl? But just the opportunity, like, fuck, we have turned this franchise around so damn far. Just the opportunity to be here is nuts. Like, you know how difficult it is to actually get to the fucking Super Bowl, to get into the NFC, AFC Championship game. How difficult it is to make it through the playoffs. If you're consistently making deep runs, fuck yeah, I'll keep you. Yeah, you have your flaws, but we're making deep runs. We're getting those opportunities that not a lot of other teams are getting. So fuck it. I'll deal with what we're dealing with so far. If it turns around, we actually get a Super Bowl out of it, awesome. If not, you know, it kind of is what it is. Again, we at least got the opportunity to get there, which is more than the Cowboys have gotten to say, and until Tom Brady showed up, more than the Bucs have had to say.
Well, not really. I mean, you went, the year before?
2 years before.
2 years before, and then
2 years before,
7 before that.
Into the playoffs a year after that, Tom Brady shows up to the team, to the Tampa Bay Bucs, takes them to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then the year after that, the 49ers.
But even before that, in the epilogue of the show, I was telling you, all we needed was a decent quarterback to do anything because we had a solid defense and anything, but we end up getting Tom. So, I mean, we were going to go to the playoffs, though, if we definitely got rid of Jameis and got a decent quarterback. So that's pretty much our situation. I mean,
speaking of somebody being decent to great quarterback being on your team, ladies and gentlemen, from the Snow Tribe in the A7 NFL and our college football correspondent, please welcome back to the show, Mr. Cory Hammond. What's up, Cory?
What's going on, guys? How are you?
Oh, yeah. Another Friday. Another Friday in the books.
You guys' relevant teams are in the news. So for good reasons, bad reasons, but you know the Christian McCaffrey thing. A second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth. Am I right?
A second, third, fourth in 2023, and a fifth in 2024, to be exact. Yes.
So potentially 4 guys. I mean, the Panthers need to build. Especially if they don't see a future in their quarterback that they traded for, Baker Mayfield.
Make you rest in shit.
All right, we are good to go today, gentlemen.
I'm ready for it.
Told you.
So,
I told you.
Yeah,
I
no,
even had it all.
should
I was like, I
should
put it in order and everything.
coming in hot right off the gate. But how'd you guys feel about that game of the week last weekend?
Oh, Tennessee, Alabama, my goodness.
Yeah, I
Lovely.
can't promise that every week the game that I suggest is going to turn out that great, because I don't think we're going to see a football game that great maybe in a relatively long time. But this week of college football, guys, looks to be, just as college football-y as every weekend seems to be.
Yeah.
And,
Looking at that,
I listen, I got to make it up to you somehow, but, the schedule right now looking pretty good moving forward for the Canes.
I mean,
much to say about that.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
Well,
we beat
anyway.
Virginia Tech. We'll see.
Well, anyway, the first thing I think I might start with is a team that I kind of like. They've climbed relatively high in the polls. I think they're relatively, not easy, but kind of mediocre schedule so far has led the Ole Miss Rebels into the top 10. And I like everything about what the entertainment value of an Ole Miss Rebels football game has been under Coach Lane Kiffin. And like I said, Jackson Dart as a quarterback, he's not necessarily the best in the SEC, but the name, top-notch quarterback name. They have a test, I think, that might push them to the edge. So I don't think I'm necessarily going to call it like I was calling last week a couple of the games. But for a game to watch for an upset special, gentlemen, as is always the case for some of those degenerates into some shekels, while we watch these collegiate games. The Ole Miss Rebels are going to get an LSU team that is unranked at this point, kind of has relatively nothing to lose other than maybe Brian Kelly losing the respect of the locker room, which may or may not have existed after he pretended to have a New Orleans accent. But that's neither here nor there. The LSU team is talented. So they could run into an Ole Miss team that might be feeling themselves in the top 10. That always gets me nervous with these college teams. SEC play is always going to be tough, but when you face an LSU team that's hungry and has nothing to lose and there's no pressure really, because if they lose, like, who cares? It's a top 10 loss. But going in there, they might be able to salvage their season, get back into the top 25, and start a run in the second half that might build for recruiting and everything next year. So if you're looking for one of those ranked teams playing a non-ranked team and having something like that happen, other than some miraculous thing happening to Ohio State and Iowa, which, if you look at the schedule, that's kind of the Ohio State losses that you kind of expect. They're not the ones that are tough games, but the ones that maybe they're sleeping in walkthroughs after, celebrating their number 2 ranking. But that's college football for you. So I would take a long look at the Ole Miss LSU game, and you might get a little bit more of a competitive game than a 9-ranked versus unranked team. Usually,
like you said it in the SEC, even if a team is unranked minus Vanderbilt, it's always a toss-up. It could always be any given Saturday in this case. A team shows up that you wouldn't expect. Arkansas used to have field days doing that kind of shit. Nobody expected them to do, but damn.
Kentucky did it all at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, Kentucky.
Florida thought that they were riding high after that Utah victory, which looks even better now. We could talk about that. Cameron Rising he's got a set on him, man. Let me tell you that. But the SEC, man. If you listen to the A7FL podcast, guys, now there's 2 of them, and I highly suggest the 3-on-1. I only gently nod towards the other side of the ball, our Vegas counterparts. One of their coaches tried to complain about the playoff situation, talking about our league, the A7FL, and comparing it to major Division I college football. And he was upset because he was trying to say that his Vegas team, which was the record was 3-4 in the expansion Vegas division, which was not as competitive as the New Jersey division, just to be clear. And if I'm going to start throwing shade, we're getting going here.
I'm looking into the board right now to see what I can work with.
So the Pit Bosses head coach, which is a great name for a Vegas team, by the way, the Pit Bosses head coach complained and was asking as if it didn't make sense and said, oh, well, New Jersey in the A7FL, they just get teams in the championship game, even if they don't win their conference like they're the SEC. And to be clear, as we're talking about college football, in the A7FL, New Jersey is the SEC. We have the best athletes. We win the most championships. And our worst teams will beat the shit out of any of the teams that you bring against us. So hashtag bringing the heat to Vegas. It's a dry heat. Well, I'm going to bring some humidity out there because in New Jersey, it's always stuffy. Our A7 SEC, Snow Tribe, you already Snow. I guarantee we would. And how did you put it? You would beat the bricks off them boys. He also on that same podcast admitted that during his season, he only had 9 guys showing up to his games on a 7-on-7 league. So I totally invite that, knowing A, low risk for myself. B, I probably only have to hand the ball off to my behemoth offensive lineman blocking in front of me for my stable of running backs. And C, if anybody from Vegas that's 3-4 placing those teams thinks that they could come out to the SEC and ball with the big boys in the A7FL, there's a reason that 2 teams from Jersey were in the championship. And it wasn't because of bias. It was because they had proven in 2021 that when California sent a team out to play one of those same New Jersey teams, ask me how that game went.
I know there's a goose egg in there somewhere.
Sounds like an ass whooping to me.
It was 80-0.
That is an ass whooping for sure.
And that's what happens when Mountain West teams talk shit about the SEC and then go and try to play them.
West. No, not even
Emotional, damn it.
So I'm glad I could vent a little bit my frustrations off. But anyway, if you want to hear the ongoing feud between East versus West, the best East versus West rivalry since mid-90s rappers, check out the family of podcasts starring Matt Ryan, Rob Fabian in the 3-on-1, and Derek Duncan. And I'm not even going to mention his name. He doesn't talk enough on his podcast. But on the other side of the ball, Derek Duncan and, whoever is supposed to be on the show, but you never hear him, so I'm not going to even mention his name. But back to this week of college football.
Shit.
Yeah, how about this? The other host, and like I said, I'm not going to even give him the credit of mentioning his name outside of his own podcast. He said that he warned the listeners that he was going to bring a roast for me, and then he plagiarized, guys. He plagiarized the winner of our contest. So he didn't even come up with his own material. He had to recycle an already effective line. And to be fair, it actually landed better when Matt Ryan was reading DG Colt's words. But shout out to DG Colt. Hope you got that jersey safe and sound. And hold on to it. Maybe it'll be a collector's item.
Cannot play with him. Cannot win with him. Cannot coach with him. Can't do it.
Nope.
No.
We want winners.
We
want winners. And in New Jersey, we got winners. In Vegas, they got a lot of people that were a little bit upset that their division champs, guys, in our fake mock poll of the preseason, we ranked them at 6. And to a man, they all said that was absolutely ridiculous and it was bullshit. And then their complaint was that they wanted them at 5. So we were such fucking
Hold on.
bullshit.
Wait.
By one place. Anyway.
Hold on.
How about
hold
the
on,
Pac-12?
hold on.
Speaking of West Coast shit football.
Corey, we are not going to just walk by that. What did?
Okay, all right.
You guys
I will dwell in talking about myself for as long as you guys allow me to.
That's fine. They were ranked 6, and they bitched and moaned to be 5.
No, not the team themselves. Let's be clear. The athletes that were on the field that actually earned the right to be mentioned in the top 10 in the entire country of the A7FL, the Vegas Force, and specifically Curtis Pac-Man Jones, their standout wide receiver, have all the respect in the world for those guys and everything that they do. It was a group of coaches of the losing teams and new expansion teams, one of which was I was told a standout player on one of the teams, but it was the team that went 0-6. So the player from the 0-6 team.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs.
But the player from the 0-6 team was the coach of the new expansion team because of how well. Anyway,
They are who we thought they were.
So they're just trying to bring it deep, right? Like what do? I get in front of my phone and I'm aggressively talking about other people relentlessly, knowing full well that I'll be on the field to, get my just desserts. And some would say I'm hungry, especially now that I'm down, boys, to 210. Let's go.
Oh shit.
From my 235 the week of the championship in that blue polo, looking like a whale. Like looking like a humpback.
It was fine, Corey. It was fine.
I mean, I was a little depressed after not making the playoffs and seeing all these other athletes getting to show their talents, and all I get to do is talk about, how good they're doing. I found myself a few extra calories, but now I'm in full snow mode. The Snow Tribe, they have the all white jersey. That does not allow for the 235. Got to get to the 205, and we're almost there, boys.
You already Snow University.
Were you starting to kind of look like, what was it, Dwight Goodman? White Goodman? Was it on dodgeball at the end of the whole thing? Wasn't getting that bad, was it?
I mean, I always say that I had the built-in rib pads. I mean, we do play full tackle, full contact tackle, no pads football. So if I'm going to stand there in the pocket, it takes the extra dedication for those Burger King and Sonic trips, late night, and you're just doing your best you can to succeed for the team. No, that's just
gotta
really
say no to the cherry limeades.
Well, I mean, my game isn't predicated on speed of my legs anyway. So if I'm bulking up, armoring up, there's a lot of D linemen in our league, at least in Jersey, by the way, not in Vegas where they're 210 and you are used to playing flag and avoid contact.
Oh gosh.
But guys, I've been told by the 0-6 Insomniacs that they're bringing 5 of their 7 starters are going to be 6'5", which I think that he thought it was basketball. I don't know if the height thing is going to really make that's not.
Are they all running?
He's like, no, I'm bringing a basketball
threes?
team. They're all 6'5", and I was like, and that's what he was saying on that podcast. And I was thinking to myself, does he know it's football? Like tall guys are good in football, right? But I mean, I've seen, for every Calvin Johnson, I've seen a lot of Stephen Hills too. So,
jeez.
Yeah, I mean, they may be 6'5", but unless every single one of them are running a 4.3, 4.4, you got speed on the other end. Just run right by him. It's not even going to matter.
0-6. I mean, I could just keep saying that over and over again. I mean, that record.
Playoffs?
My
Talk
record
about
wasn't good last year
playoffs?
either,
You
but
kidding
it
me?
was better than 0-6.
Playoffs?
So that's the one thing I'll always just be like, oh, 0-6. So my game of the week, guys.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of Western football and how much it sucks compared to the SEC, and by SEC, I'm in the A7FL, I mean New Jersey. We talked very early in the year about Oregon, guys, remember? When Georgia took
the brakes
everything
off
from them.
Yeah.
Like Georgia sent out a 6'7", 280-pound freshman tight end with the number 0, and he leaped over a defensive back. That's how Oregon's season started. And look how it's going. Hey.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Right there in the top 10. Now, what did we say last week about USC Utah? We were in the last-ditch effort for the Pac-12 to come out of the season with a chance.
And Utah said,
fuck you, bro.
Oh, that's what I mean. When we had that conversation, I had even said it too. Like, you're kind of, in some ways, it's, yeah, like you said, you want the Pac-12 to be represented in the college football playoff somehow, some way, or even in the top 10. But when you're looking at a team that's getting ready to leave, it's already been publicly announced that they're going to leave. Anybody who's still about to be sticking around is about to try and give them the best going. You want to leave? All right. If you can't even beat us, what makes you think that you're going to go over there and do any better? So that's what I said. If I was Utah or anybody in the Pac-12 looking at it long term, that's the result you want.
And it was awesome to watch. That was a great game. And for all the pro things that USC's quarterback was doing on the other side, it was Cam Rising's, college things, the intangibles, he didn't look as good as his counterpart, to a scout maybe, but it was still the effectiveness in what he was doing and how he was doing it, and the grounded way in which he plays the game it's reminiscent to, a guy not in, he's much better than myself and he has a lot to his game, compared to myself, but like myself in my league, I'm not doing it in a stereotypical, accepted way. Sometimes you just got to fight and grit it out. And it can sometimes in college still be more about determination and will than talent and skill. So, shout out to Utah for getting that win, but we're in the same exact spot with the UCLA Oregon game. Now, Oregon is a good team. I think they're going to continue to win games after this one. I think the whole Oregon aura about them and the Bo Nix and all of this stuff is great when they're playing, Oregon State and Washington State and all those things. And I don't know if I believe in UCLA yet, but I do think that they're a very talented team, and they have talent on every level of both sides of the ball. But again, we're in that situation where this is the last chance now. This is the final last chance for an undefeated actual contender in the Pac-12, and it's, again, the exact same situation with UCLA is one of those teams that's on the way out. So Oregon's ranked pretty high. So right now is Utah and USC. And I think if these teams continue to play competitive against each other, maybe things could be interesting.
Right.
But the fact is that if UCLA doesn't, A, run the table, and B, have these teams continue to win against the lower seeds in their conference so that they can stay ranked so it looks better, the Pac-12 is in real jeopardy of, after this week, having zero legitimate chances to make the college football playoff again, which, what does that really mean at the end of the day for them? I don't know. Maybe that's not even the priority at this point moving forward. So maybe, guys in the Pac-12 are just saying, like you said, and I didn't even think of it that way because I was thinking the immediate, and the immediacy of college football is constantly present in what we talk about. But
because I think about it,
moving
nothing worse if you're in the Pac-12. You just found out UCLA and USC are about to leave, and one of them goes and wins a national title or something like that on their way out. Like that would be just, it would be crushing. That's what I'm saying. Like when you get to these certain teams now, like you said, if all four of those teams, like you mentioned, continue to win, but when they play each other, at least make it competitive.
Yep.
That doesn't jeopardize the ranking as much.
Right.
So if they can continue that, that's fine. But when you look at it this way, when I see this game, Oregon UCLA, kind of the same argument that I had last week. Kind of hope Oregon wins. For the Pac-12's sake. For the whole longevity of the whole thing.
Well, and one thing that I say a lot of times when we have those games where, the Pac-12 plays the SEC, I think sometimes that can be helpful for teams because they see what the top level of competition is. They get exposed on what their weaknesses are, and then they build up and work on those things so that they can just become a better, product on the field as the season progresses, because that's really how the NFL works, guys. The NFL doesn't base it on this rigged, undefeated or bust type system. And of course, when Alabama is at the end of the season with just one loss and it's to Tennessee, or Georgia beats Tennessee, and we have 3 SEC teams that are hypothetical possibilities for the college football playoff. We can't get to 8 and then 16 fast enough. So look, I'm interested to see what happens in that game. And I think that the actual outcome of that game is going to be UCLA, because what I was saying before is that when Oregon faces a Georgia, if they could stand up to that test a little bit better, maybe that does provide a way to build off for a successful season. But when you get just absolutely smacked, how can anybody in that locker room feel comfortable if they go down to UCLA by 10 in the first quarter? It's hard because those are kids. Right. And they got these adults screaming in their faces, guys. This TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat culture is so much easier at tuning out adults. It's crazy. So, the success speaks for itself, and they have been succeeding. But if they start to fail early in this game to UCLA, I have a feeling that, Oregon might crumble, because that's what that Georgia loss might have provided for this team. Yeah, well, the PTSD of being against a top 10 good team, finding yourself underwater a little bit and knowing that you don't have, or at least in your mind, being convinced that you don't have what it takes to get back above water. And that's a tough spot to be in for 18 to 25-year-old kids. Because there are 25-year-olds that think in college football this year.
There's a few that I've seen and thought, oh, this is 6-year freshman, or not 6-year freshman, 6-year senior. I'm like, how is that? How's that even possible?
Hey, I mean, at this point, I have 2
when
years
did
of
Van Wilder get on the football team?
I have 2 years of college football eligibility left. So if anybody wants to give me a flyer and give me an NIL so I don't have to work, let's go.
Who's that court? Was it no, not Glenn. Who was that quarterback who played for Oklahoma State when he was 30?
Oh,
Brandon Weeden. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was a baseball
Weeden
player first. That it's similar to Russell Wilson. He just didn't last as long in baseball and isn't as creepy on Subway commercials.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to go into it. Don't start.
Yeah, no,
I stood up for my boy the last time you guys were talking about it, and then more and more time passes, I almost feel bad for sticking up for my fellow quarterback brethren, because he's just the fucking weirdest dude I've ever heard of.
I mean, every day he comes and says something, either on social media or in the press or anything else like it's cringeworthy every single time. Every single freaking time. And with his whole, oh, I guess I'm healing up. Healing up. I got that Wolverine blood. I was like, oh, you're healing up. I was like, before you're getting all the criticism. Oh, my shoulder hurts. Now the criticism kind of dies down going into your next. Oh, I feel better going in it. Oh yeah, it's like you're making excuses for one.
You know
And
when you're scrolling social media now, and again, I'm a Twitter bot, so this is actually a lie that I do this, but this is the only way to bring it up so everybody else knows. But all those posts that they'll advertise the AI, and you type in words and then you get a picture.
mm-hmm.
Doesn't Russell Wilson feel like his PR is run by one of those AIs, and then he says, what to say after poor performance, and it's like, talk about mutant powers. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. Doesn't Russell Wilson look like if you drew awkward quarterback, that's what the AI would draw? And I don't know if you guys were watching, but have you ever seen this one where he's like, you can't see my fingers pointing. You know, the one who he's pointing, it's like family, football, faith, and some bullshit. And it's like,
oh, that TikTok or whatever that he did.
Yeah. That's.
And it just, oh, God. Okay. Yeah. Dude's got it. And then everything from what I've been hearing.
Again, guys, right?
Yeah, I like it. I like every bit of it. Don't fuck it up. That's all I'm saying. Got all this momentum. Don't fuck it up.
As long as they keep the health of their main players, they got a lot of good main players, and I think that they can make a run in this Big 12.
Mm.
And then there's Rutgers, and then I am from New Jersey, so I just wanted to say Rutgers as a college football analyst. I don't have anything else to say that anybody else wants to hear, but Rutgers.
Cool. Yeah, Rutgers. Yeah, they're still in the FBS, ladies and gentlemen. Surprisingly enough.
I don't think they were ever going to not be in the FBS. They
might pull an Idaho and go to FCS.
They have a winning record in this conference this year. I think they beat who the heck they beat? They beat somebody they shouldn't have.
I was gonna say better be somebody good, Corey.
No, they beat Nebraska.
Yo, stop it. Stop it.
When you look
Nebraska.
Stop. When you look at the name Nebraska, should Nebraska ever lose to Rutgers?
No, but if you know about what's been going on, especially with Scott Frost and everything else like that going on this year, it's kind of like a
Well, and does that usually go on at Nebraska or Rutgers?
I mean, if I was going to look at this game and pick, given the turmoil that Nebraska is in, I would have looked at it and said,
I'm just saying.
Maybe Rutgers.
When Rutgers beats Nebraska, that's like Rutgers beat Nebraska. It's not Northern Sky. It's not Weber State. It's not Monmouth.
It's
not the Nevada pit bosses out of the A7FL Nevada.
How original and unique with the names, right?
You want to know the worst part about that A7FL thing?
Yeah, there's a worst part about it.
On my podcast, I was the asshole trying to include them and saying that these guys are good. They have talent out there. Yeah, you should have heard them trying to eviscerate me. Poorly plagiarizing.
So you were trying to give them props, and they returned the favor with
I don't know.
Plagiarized jokes.
Let's be honest, guys. When I talk about people on my when I talk about people on my podcast, whether I feel that I'm being positive or not, is up to interpretation. Maybe they took offense to other things that I said in passing that I couldn't help myself, and I'm just not giving enough credence to that. But in the top 10 that they were having complaint of, first of all, I did not nominate my Schno tribe, my guys next to me. Yes, exactly. They nominated the Dion Dawkins owned best jerseys and upcoming force. No, not the Vegas force. Upcoming force in the A7FL. But I didn't nominate my own team. you know, I'm an asshole in a lot of ways, but that's not the type of asshole that I am. Like, I make fun of myself more than almost anybody else in the world. And people make fun of me a lot.
That's what I'm saying. That's the hard part about going after you is you have that self-detrimental type of sense.
I'll tell you the secret, and Country K knows this absolutely. Look at my skin. I learned from the best. If you're going to be in a roast battle or any type of battle, you make fun of yourself and empty the chamber of the opponent before they could say a word, and then they'll choke. I'm old and gray and white and slow. Now say something. Yeah. Clarence.
Full on B-Rabbit mode. Cory, again, man, every single time we have you on, it's always great.
We don't always talk about college football, but that's why it's great. You never know.
It's fine. We get to it. We get to it.
And what do you guys think about? What do you guys think Baker Mayfield is going to do now that he doesn't have Christian?
Man, he rest in shit.
The same shit he's been doing the entire time.
You did some great show prep. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I said he's going to be doing the same damn shit that he's been doing this the whole time. Suck. He's not going to get any better. So, hey.
Not on the Carolina Panthers, he's not. That's
man, he rest in shit.
The whole team. I even said it. As long whoever's jersey he is wearing.
Man, he rest in shit.
You know what's sad? And I'm totally for the anti-Oklahoma thing, and that's why I never brought it up. But what are we in the NFL? We're at week 7.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 5 more weeks until the quarterback that took over Baker Mayfield's job.
They are who we make you rest in shit.
Actually, the person who should rest in shit, in your guys' opinion, takes the helm for the team that put their money behind old Yankee Yankerson, instead of your boy Baker Mayfield. So as much maligned as Baker Mayfield has become,
make you rest in shit.
I was getting my thumb a workout today, aren't you?
Just think about what's going to be suiting up for the Browns in a couple.
Make you rest in shit.
It doesn't get any better for the Browns, and once again, whoever decides to pick up Baker Mayfield on their team, they're both going to suck wherever either one of them
goes.
Make you
rest in shit.
I think the point is, guys, the point is at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, when we really look in behind the numbers, and that's making fun of Stephen A., tinyurl.com/A7FL merch. Get your Thick Boy Season or Huss Huss shirts. No one's doing the I'll try, and I'll try to get somebody to buy it, but people don't understand the meaning behind it, and maybe one of these days someone will. Maybe if somebody actually buys the shirt, I'll write them a manifesto of the I'll try. And then that would be... Manifesto is actually a bad thing to say in all these Netflix documentaries that are coming out. Did you know that? Are you guys aware of The Watcher? Not that this has anything to do with anything.
I saw it,
seen it,
but I have not watched it.
Okay,
same shit.
My wife started watching it, and then of course it was on, so that happened. It literally is one of the worst fucking shows, and it's one of those Ryan Murphy shows. I don't know if you watch, American Horror Story or even Dahmer, but he's notorious for having these shows that start off the first 2.5, 3 episodes are actually interesting and set up mystery, and then by episode 5.5, you're like, this show should have ended an episode ago. It's trash.
Should have been a limited series,
but it takes place in Westfield, New Jersey, and as a construction business owner, I actually did a project on that street. And one of the people that I work with, he's the manager at a supply house in Plainfield. The Watcher, the weirdo that wrote the letters, used to come in and sit down and have 45-minute hour talks with him and hand him over these handwritten books of all of this. The Watcher is a real person, and the guy that runs the Plainfield Supply unfortunately has to deal with this guy because he buys building products.
Say what?
So anyway, breaking news: The Watcher. Apparently, I know someone who knows him. Now, I don't know his name. The person doesn't even know his name because he just comes in and acts weird as fuck. But he doesn't kill anybody. The show is bullshit. And people, stop driving by the house in Westfield on Boulevard, please. It's annoying. Real people actually live there, and it's just a fucking TV show. But happy college football and NFL football this weekend, gentlemen.
Oh yeah, yes sir, Corey. Ladies and gentlemen of the Jaffa Army, please put your hands together for Fred Durst. Cory Hammond.
Oh
sorry.
no, Fred Durst.
Oh, sorry, you put the hat backwards. I was like, oh, Limp Bizkit right there.
Yeah, but look at this thing. Look at this thing. I was just like, oh, I gotta cover this. And when you try to fix your hair in a Zoom meeting, your hands always go the opposite direction because it's backwards. So
from
with
Fred Durst to the White Dawn Queen.
My dorsal fin is flapping in my fan. Jaffa Army, as always, thank you for dealing with me. And go buy that A7FL merch because A, it's exclusive. B, that shit fire. And C, you already know.
You already know University.
You already.
Don't be an asshole, Corey.
I'll try.
See you later. For those of you who wonder why I said that, that's exactly the reason he's talking about that shirt. The all try shirt is because, like he says, Matt Ryan says, don't be an asshole at the end of every show in their podcast. And Corey goes, I'll try. So that's why I just said, don't be an asshole, Corey. Now, again, he touched on it on Russell Wilson. And I have to ask you, okay, how much more of this man are we going to take before we just say, you know what? No, we're done. I'm done with it. Done with it. Because I do honestly feel like this, if this run with the Broncos continues to go the way it's going for the rest of this year and possibly next year, it's going to be a detriment to whatever Hall of Fame notice that he was even going to get, if he was even going to make the Hall of Fame.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Here's why. Here's why I don't think so. I agree if they keep everything in place and the season continues all the way through. Here's why I think it won't continue the way it goes. The coach name is Nathaniel Hackett, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just based off of, pure economics, Nathaniel Hackett's contract compared to Russell Wilson's contract, I'm almost certain that Russell makes a lot more than Nathaniel. So the Broncos have more invested.
Nathaniel.
Yeah, his mama gonna be calling him home for sure soon, because if it keeps going the way it is, they're gonna get him up out of there. And the reason why I say I don't think it is for this reason. Just say hypothetically they get rid of that coach and whoever is the interim, or whoever's the interim or hire or whatever the fuck they do it, comes in, they play well, finish the season out well, get knocked off in the wild card, it'd definitely flip, because they'll be like, we didn't expect them to fucking be shit. You know what I mean? Especially the way the season started. That's right. What I mean. Like, if they fire that coach, get the interim in, it's like, all right, Russell, it might have been that coach. Let's get Russell a good coach. Let's give him a real good chance to try. And then he'll win the team back that way. Russell win the team back that way. His bullshit won't be seem as tarnished anymore. Mm-hmm. And then it'll be like, all right, Russell might have changed and turned a new leaf, because that's probably how it's going to bounce back from all the people that came out saying everything about him. It's like he's not the same Russell anymore. Like, that's probably how everybody will be able to back up out of those statements. You know what I'm saying? As far as like his character and shit like that.
Well, think about it this way. Let's talk about him possibly being the Hall of Fame real quick, right? Now, the first few years with Legion of Boom and everything, his first, 4 or 5 years with Seattle, great things.
2 Super Bowl appearances.
2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 win, 1 loss.
Well, it was three.
One wasn't even because of him. It's
NFC.
because the defense literally destroyed Peyton Manning and the Broncos. The second one, he threw the notorious interception that led to #feed beast mode. Or give Marshawn the ball. Since that Super Bowl, it has been kind of a downward trajectory. Now, he's able to put up numbers, yes, but everything else outside of that, he's not necessarily becoming the leader that they're hoping him to be. And especially from what I've been hearing, outside of the field and the press, the mandatory shit, the mandatory team stuff, outside of that, he's kind of a dickhead person. He thinks he's bigger than what he is. And I don't think that resonates well, especially with grown-ass men in the NFL who are trying to make their living winning games and adding, legacy to their name with Super Bowl wins and stuff like that, when they've got a guy who's underperforming and playing like shit and thinking he's the shit. Outside, I'm too good for you guys outside of this, type of shit. Like this whole facade that he puts up with the media and just the corniness, all that other kind of shit. Outside of that, he's a dick. So it's like you're underperforming and you're being a dickhead. Like I'm looking at him exactly like your background. The nerve of this man. And again, when it talks about Hall of Fame, he had the first 5-6 years he did, he did good. He had a great defense. And then after that, Seattle has done nothing since. And now he's with a new team who traded, essentially the world for him. And this is the result that they're getting. It's just, I don't think with it, and especially where Russell Wilson is at in his career, he's not even anywhere near any of what you would say like top 10, top 15, like the career passing numbers and stuff. He's not anywhere near like the greats that should be in the Hall of Fame and no doubters and stuff. He's not even close to that. When's the last time that Russell Wilson had a 4,000-yard season? He's never hit 5,000. He's never had a single vote for MVP. He didn't win Super Bowl MVP because, again, he didn't do shit in that game when they won. It was all the defense. And it just, I don't know if when you talk about the criteria of what being in the Hall of Fame means, being one of the greatest to ever play the game. Prime said it himself. It's getting kind of diluted now. But give it like Hall of Very Good, sure he'll make it. But if we're talking about the actual bare bones of what it is to make it into the NFL, I don't think Russell Wilson does. I don't think he makes it. He's not a top 10 or 15. I don't even think he's a top 20 guy all time. I do not think Russell Wilson, as it stands right now, is a Hall of Famer. I just don't. And there's nothing about his game. There's nothing about him. There's nothing about anything that he's been doing in the last decade really tells me otherwise. I mean, you might have a different opinion on it, but I don't think this guy's Hall of Fame worthy. I really don't. You're muted.
Nigga, I'm here. Repeat the question on my bad.
I was saying, do you think Russell Wilson's career is Hall of Fame worthy?
It just all depends on how long you think he's gonna play. Cause he not. I don't think he know one of those quarterbacks that's near retirement. So
No, he's still got, given he's healthy and everything else like that, he's still got probably a good, 5 to 6 years, left in him. Maybe not exactly doing exactly what he's been doing, but more of like, how Drew Brees was, like everything is timing and all that other kind of like that type of play.
Well, then
he's not gonna be running around or anything like that nearly as much as he did or as he does.
All right, so so now you brought up a very interesting point, right? Because I am a Tampa Bay fan, and you brought up that fucking 5'9" demon with a fucking patch on his face. Fuck him. You brought that demon up, and I had to sit there for almost 15 years, bro. Almost 15 years taking a damn slaughter from this man. You bring him up and then sit here and not understand that Russell Wilson is trying to become him. That is who he's trying to become. People are not understanding that.
He's not
like it's not as far as
problem.
And that's why I disagree. And that's the reason why I say that's because
when Russell Wilson starts consistently putting up 5,000-yard seasons,
so here's the thing.
Then we can talk about it. But he's never gotten to that level. He's not even being close to that level.
So this is the reason why I say that. What is Pete Carroll's specialty? Every coach has a specialty. What is Pete Carroll's specialty?
I mean, even since college, it kind of seems like defense and running the football.
So that said zero about developing quarterback play.
I mean, since Pete Carroll has been with the Seahawks, he's really only had Russell Wilson. And then now, he's got Geno Smith now, who, by the way, is not doing as bad as everybody thought he was going to do.
Yeah, because people forgot that Geno Smith threw a fucking 700 yards in a fucking college football game. People forgot Geno Smith really can throw the fucking ball. Like, that's what people forgot because he got drafted to the New York Jets. That shit was a bad deal. But anyway, that would be my explanation about Geno. Geno actually can throw the ball. There it is. That's how you end that shit there.
but I mean,
he's a big quarterback. But as far as Russell though,
but with Pete, with Pete Carroll, just to kind of, like I said, when he's been in the NFL, he's had really nothing but Russell. And then when he was in college, he had Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, obviously, all those guys and stuff like that. But none of his quarterbacks at USC were really all that noteworthy. I'm not exactly sure if he was a coach for Carson Palmer. He might have been. I don't know. But even then, Carson Palmer had a decent career, but he's not a Hall of Famer.
Barkley?
Matt Barkley hasn't done shit in the NFL. He's been a backup his whole career. Sanchez, he had Mark Sanchez, butt fumble. All right.
But that's my point. That's exactly my point.
He hasn't really, like you said, developed the quarterback. Now
you're proving my point though. So
now you send him to a team. Now you send him to a team where the coach that they brought in, this coach, worked with Aaron Rodgers and he did all this. He's like all that. He's a quarterback guy. All right. Well, none of that. There's coaches who have specialties in quarterback development and all that other kind of shit.
That's not what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is just because people attach Aaron Rodgers' name to somebody. Oh, he was a quarterback coach for Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers
That's
won
what
an
I was
MVP.
asking.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers was not. You know, the reason why he won an MVP was not because of the quarterback coach. Sorry, that's just not. It's not the case at all. You know, so to say, oh, because he coached Aaron Rodgers, or dare I say, learned from Aaron Rodgers. Given the ego on that man.
No, but I actually on that. Hold on, stop right here at that point. I would have to agree with that point. I would fully agree with that.
You
point.
Agree with me?
No, I would agree with Aaron Rodgers if he said that. So that's an even bigger what. If Aaron Rodgers still by that point, or saying if you made that point saying that he learned from Aaron Rodgers, I would agree, because look at what happened when Aaron Rodgers had to sit out because of COVID. Did Jordan Love perform very well as quarterback? Because he was the quarterback coach. Jordan Love was another quarterback on that team that was a high draft pick that pissed Aaron Rodgers off. Did he perform well?
Hell no. He sucked.
So now you're proving my point about Russell. So now you put that same coach in a position where you got a new player that has to prove himself as detached from the coach that he got drafted to, and he's not developing well, and they're not playing well, because it's clear signs as his coach has been showing lacking ability of understanding what the fuck he's doing, or what he's supposed to do. I mean, and it's like Russell's continuing his bullshit, and motherfuckers are getting tired of it because he's not performing. Because now they're blaming him, because at the same time, it is his fault in certain situations. Like, these players are wide open. You could win these games throughout this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could win this game throughout these
Plenty of opportunities to win the games.
Right.
Plenty of those moments to be able to get it done. And he just doesn't.
I mean, I've heard people, I mean, we'd have talked about this. We probably could have got it out before other people, but they pretty much, a few people I've heard on sports shows said it. Like, Russell should have came out and just admitted that I'm playing like shit. You know what I mean? Not necessarily saying shit, but just saying it into his words and his degree, and keeping the same demeanor, just taking onus and responsibility.
Saying, what is wrong with saying I didn't have a good game? I didn't have it today. Like, it's just today was just a bad game. Like, made bad decisions, didn't make the throws. It's just a bad day. Instead, he had to blame. Oh, my shoulder hurts. It's been hurting for a while, actually. The fuck? Like, bro, take some accountability for your shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what is so wrong with, like, if anything, that tells me you're an even bigger leader, because you can own up to your shit. So if you can hold yourself accountable, I can trust that you can hold everybody else accountable as the leader of the team. But if you can't even do that for yourself, fucking makes you think you can keep anybody else accountable. Like, because, again, dealing with grown-ass men who can see through that shit. If I'm on the team, it's like, why the fuck am I going to listen to you? For what? You don't do it. You don't hold yourself accountable. Why the fuck where do you get off telling me what to do? It doesn't work that way. Again, and if all the things are true with how he is, off the field, very, whatever, to everybody else, like, I wouldn't want that guy on my team. Fuck that. He's doing more harm than good. He's playing like shit, and he's not admitting that he is. He doesn't think that he is. Kind of like Russell Westbrook last night, saying he had a solid game and he only had 2 fucking points.
I mean, he played well defensively.
Oh, okay.
He did.
That makes up for it.
It didn't make up for
the ass whooping that they took. Yes.
It didn't. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I mean, we'll talk about basketball.
We'll get into basketball. Maybe on Tuesday we'll get into basketball. Since the NBA season has started and everything else like that, we could start getting into more talking points about that. But nonetheless, tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be the first time in a little while since the wedding. All 3 of us? No, since the Bay Area Cali Classic, the last time all 3 of us were together. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So since last January, since this past January, was the last time the three of us were all in the same vicinity, room, whatever, together. Tomorrow is going to be one of those situations. For what, JP? You may ask. Are you covering somebody? Are you guys, what event are you going to? Nope, we're just gonna have a fucking good ass time.
Going to get fucked up, boss. That's pretty much it.
Going to Halloween party. Mad Sticks is the DJ. Shout out real quick to Gabby. It's gonna be her 50th birthday. So appreciate her for allowing us to be a part of the festivities. The theme of the party was, what did Mad Sticks say it was?
I'm not saying it out loud.
I want to say it. What was it, like white trash something?
There you go.
What is it?
That was it. That was it, Coach.
White trash party?
Yep. Yep, that's it.
Oh, shit. He said he was going to go by the name DJ Dame Dirt.
Yeah, you didn't see the picture?
No, I saw the picture.
Yeah.
I saw the picture. I just didn't see DJ Dame Dirt. Oh, man, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was going to happen. But yeah. White trash party is the theme of the song, or theme of the party. Shit, what did he say that he was gonna play? He was gonna play some country music and shit in the beginning.
No, he said he gonna play for the first hour. It was did he say Billy Joel?
No,
he said Johnny Cash. He said Johnny Cash the first hour, and then after that it was he's gonna turn the fuck up. I'm not sure if that's the artist, but he definitely said
he said the first hour is Johnny Cash.
So I was right. Motherfuckers.
The first hour is Johnny Cash, second hour EDM, then we turn up completely after that. So the first 2 hours is stuff that Damien wouldn't or DJ Mad Sticks wouldn't normally do. Because
nobody tells DJ Request what to play.
He's gonna play what he feels is getting the party going.
Underrated movie. Underrated movie.
Very underrated. I have to watch that again just for DJ Request.
Nobody tells DJ Request what to play.
And I swear to God, that's every DJ known to man.
Hey, shout out my boy Mendez, man. Shout out to my boy Marcus Mendez. He's gonna be out here November 4th.
But yeah, like we got that. Fuck, dude.
Oh, and his little brother Devin. Goddamn, that's so disrespectful.
So yeah, Kate. When are you coming up? What? Fuck, I didn't even see what time the party was. I know it's later. Like what, 6, 7, some shit like that.
I don't know, but I'm gonna look at it again. But it's gonna be close to that time.
What time are you planning on coming up here?
Close to that time. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, close. Yeah, I gotta change. I gotta change my oil on my car. I gotta change the oil on my car.
Okay, for making the trip. Sounds good.
I do it myself.
Oh, I mean, it's cheaper. Everybody else charges fucking $100.
Yeah, no, they can put it where the sun don't shine.
Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys once again on this lovely Friday evening for hanging out with us. Cory Hammond, once again, as always, a pleasure to have him. You guys see the social medias right down there at the bottom. I put up a website now on, so it's a WordPress. I'm just fucking around with that a little bit. It's very basic, in my opinion, but I'm planning on adding more to it and getting the WordPress taken out of the .com, so it could just be Tornado Bros Productions, and I know how to do that, so that's going to happen soon. But we now officially have a website for Tornado Bros Productions and all of its content and joy that it brings, not just all of us, but hopefully to all of you. Go on the socials, Tornado Bros LLC on Twitter. The website's right there. The All Pro JAFFOs on Twitter and IG. It's all on there. The website is on there as well. And on the website itself, it has all the links to all of the podcasts, wherever they may be, whether it's on Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, you name it. We are basically there all over the place. And we plan to stay that way. I want to add some more stuff, maybe a Jaffo radio station, maybe.
I mean,
I
that's
don't
what
know.
this is, to be honest.
Well, the podcast, but like I'm saying, like stuff that an actual radio station. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. It might not just be the job. It might be like a whole PvP thing. It might just be PvP radio or something like that. Then I have our podcast, the other podcasts, and like a lot of other people who do online radio, we can charge people to put their sets or their, whatever it is on the radio station to kind of fill out more time. So might be able to capitalize on that a little bit. We'll see how it goes. But again, people, thank you for hanging out. We will see you guys again on Tuesday. Oh, fuck. We didn't even do our picks. That's fine. That's fine.
Well, I'll go through it.
I don't even have it in front of me. Where the hell am I going to do? Do you have it in front of you? Can you read them off?
Yeah, actually, I can just do it off my phone, off ESPN.
I would say you're not really showing yourself on camera anyway, so. You're always in the background of all of your backgrounds.
Oh, yeah. So
I can't even remember the last time I've seen your face on the show.
Because I like being this mysterious. I want to see your face. Anyway, so the most
lightning around these picks.
All right, so the most beautiful thing happened last night. The Cardinals beat the Saints. Thank you very much, Cardinals. So first on the list, my team got the Bucks, Panthers. You know how I'm rocking.
Yeah, it's kind of obvious. The Bucks are the Panthers are going through a fire sale, so yeah.
It's going to be an onslaught. They should just give us Burns, you know what I mean? Like they should just let us have him and just add another pass rusher to our stable, you know.
Shit, I'll even take DJ Moore as well. Fuck it.
I mean, you need DJ Moore. That would actually make y'all a real contender to me. Y'all get DJ Moore, I'll be scared then. But we got Bengals, Falcons. I'm going with Joey B to guard.
It's kind of hard for me because the Falcons put a whooping on us this last week.
Can't beat them doing them. Go ahead.
I mean, I was thinking about it, man. But then again, Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. That defense is suspect, though.
Yeah, but I'm almost certain
I'm going with the Falcons.
Yeah,
I'm going with the Falcons.
That's going to put you up.
My stepbrother's wife is going to like me for that one. She's a Falcons fan.
Yeah, you're going to be mad as shit. So you got Cowboys, Lions.
Oh, Detroit, all the way.
Yeah, I'm going to go with I'm going to go with the goddamn. Oh, hold on.
I think Dakota's back this week. So, yeah, definitely Detroit.
Hey, didn't I pick the Cowboys last week? And they fucking lost.
I told you the Eagles were going to win.
Excuse me.
Even my coworker at work bet against his own fucking team. Had to pay up.
That was disgusting. Hold on, that was stupid.
I told him the same thing. Saw him today.
Yeah, they coming off a bye week, and they switching quarterbacks. Dak out there with a whole mechanical thumb. Yeah, I'll rock the same way. Let's go with Lions. Fuck it. Colts, Titans.
Ooh. That's a tough one, actually.
Same record, but the Colts got a tie.
Yeah. I really do think the Colts are on that fucking suck for luck replica type season. Like, I really do think they're trying to be like that.
Yeah, they got
but the Titans. So I'm basically stuck between my mom and my brother. Mom's a Titans fan. My brother's a Colts fan. Now, if my brother were here, he would pick the Titans because he thinks the Colts have been playing like shit.
Right.
So based on that fact,
Scores
I'm gonna
some
have to. Yeah, we'll all be on the Titans bandwagon this week. Fuck it.
for sure.
I'll
I'm
pick
going
the
Colts.
Titans.
I'm going
Go ahead.
Colts.
That's fine.
Packers, Commanders.
Fuck me.
Gotta say
I mean,
it.
it's Packers. It's definitely Packers.
All right.
It's just
Same.
I say that because it's a fucking awful game on Sunday.
I feel you. It's a morning game, so it'll be over with quick. Giants, Jags. I'm going with Danny Dimes.
I don't know why you keep crediting Danny Dimes for all these wins.
I'm not. I just like saying it.
I'm crediting the defense and Saquon Barkley. That's what I'm crediting for that.
Oh no, me too. Because you see, I got Thibodeau on my team, so I definitely do too. But I like saying Danny Dimes.
So Giants and who again?
Jags.
Ooh. Where are they playing?
In Jacksonville.
You know what? I might take Jags here.
All right.
I think the Jags are surprising.
He's drunk, people. Browns, Ravens.
Browns, Ravens.
Yep, same. Jets, Broncos.
Jets. Definitely the Jets.
Next game, I already know your pick. I'm taking the same. I'm taking the Raiders. I know you gave Jackson, so you just passed that one. Seahawks, Chargers.
Are they playing in Seattle?
San Diego. I mean, LA.
Yeah, Seahawks defense kind of sucks, but Geno is playing good. But Herbert's got basically everybody back. Yeah, we'll go with the Chargers.
All right, next game, I'm taking Chiefs. I know you're sticking with the Niners. Steelers, Dolphins.
Tua's back. Steelers don't even know what the fuck they're going at quarterback. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm going to go same because fuck the Steelers, but fuck it. Monday Night Football, you got Bears, Patriots. That's disgusting.
It's a fucking terrible Monday night game.
I'm not watching that shit.
Jesus Christ. Fuck.
They should have flexed this. Why they acting like they can't flex?
So fucking bad. I forgot who is it again? Bronco? Who?
Bro, they why did they stop flexing games? The fucking Bears and the Patriots.
Bears, Patriots. Gosh. I don't know when they started doing that. Fuck, Bears have been playing like shit too. Fuck. But the Patriots without Mac Jones haven't been a damn thing. Oh, this might as well be on Thursday. Fuck.
Or Sunday morning. They get drowned out with other games.
I fucking hate the fact that I even picked, but
Like this Bucks Panthers game. That shit gonna get drowned out.
I'll probably go the Patriots.
Yeah, that was kind of actually an easy pick. I don't know why it took you so long.
They just both suck so bad.
What is the brightest thing on that game? Bill Belichick's defense. And you really just that's it.
I was like Bill Belichick. I was like that's all that needs to be said. Yeah.
Yeah.
All needs to be said about that game.
That
was the Monday night game?
Yeah.
God, the Monday night and the Sunday night game fucking suck. Jesus Christ, NFL, get your shit together. Whoever's doing the scheduling needs to wake the fuck up because this is just terrible.
Yeah, they should be flexing games. This is bullshit. Because the Niners got flexed, twice last year?
Yep.
I loved it. It was beautiful. Why the fuck is it not happening this year with any team?
It needs to happen with other teams for sure. They need to relook at this schedule and go, all right, No.
Bro, we don't have the Bears on a Thursday night game and a damn Monday night game in the last
We've
3
had the
weeks. If I'm
Broncos
not
on
mistaken.
fucking 3 months. There were 3 primetime games in a row.
This is some bullshit.
Fucking terrible.
The Bears. Like, the Bears. Come on, bro.
Fucking
Y'all could have
Bears.
looked at the roster before the season and realized the Bears are going to be sorry as shit. Even
Rock
with
did,
Allen
he knew.
Robinson on catch. Like, come on, bro.
Rock was on the show. He knew. He's like, yeah, nah, Bears. Nah, that ain't it.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. So, I didn't
They are who we
understand.
thought they were.
Yeah, man.
That's
That's disgusting.
God, this sounds just this whole week. There really doesn't even sound like bleh, the bad week of NFL football. Jesus, I hope the games turn out good, because what we're seeing right now, it's just gimme games and just we can tune out this week almost. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging out with us on this lovely Friday. We will see you guys on Tuesday with updates and another top 5 coming your way.
And a story for the weekend.
And a story from the weekend. For the All Pro JAFFOs, for myself, JP, for the 610 Beast, Mr. Country K. We will see you guys on Tuesday. Deuces.
Aloha.